Oh, loud that one, isn't it?
If I get them all going, if you want me to fire them out,
we're going to pre-warm them up so they start up on the... Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Bit of a different one today. Gonna go to the road and see my old mate, Mr. P, Mr. Patterson. He's got a collection of motorbikes. We'll have a little walk round and have a look at them. Let's go see him.
right.
All right?
Yeah. Well, so what do you want me to do then?
Just be yourself. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Mr. P. We're going to look at his bikes. 5 minutes on each one. I'll bring you in closer. We'll have a little chat about them. We'll start tool free up and we'll go from there. We'll start over here. The BSA. How long have you had this one for?
I've had this since 1982. My father gave it to me. It's a 1960 650 BSA Gold Flash. They made that same engine for 10 years, which they wouldn't do now. Everything changes within a couple of years. The engine is separate to the gearbox, and in here's a primary drive. Now all the bikes are engine and gearboxes are all together, but this has got a separate engine and gearbox. It's also got a magneto, and the thing is about this bike is there's no key. It's got a steering lock, but everybody can just get on it and start it up and ride it away. There's no key, no security. I'll fire it up.
They're such good looking bikes.
So you have to pull the petrol on. You've got to push this little plunger down here until the petrol runs, believe it or not, over the magneto.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
And then you just fire up.
They sound lovely.
It's got a separate oil tank, so the oil you can just check to see if it's returning. Speedo is a chronometric one, so it doesn't go up smoothly, it goes up in jerks. So it's called a chronometric speedo. Lights are 6 volt, absolutely abysmal. The brakes are rubbish, but it's like a gentleman's motorbike. It'll potter along all day, 50, 60 miles an hour. They did a sporty version that would do sort of nearly 100 miles an hour. It's got an amp meter on the side of the headlamp, but basically it weighs a ton. Everything is solid metal. I spent probably £4,300 restoring it, and you can buy a really good one now for three and a half, 4 grand.
What year is this one?
1960.
1960.
Yeah.
Was it even thought of?
Well, you know.
Beautiful bike. Next one, BSA.
So this BSA here is a 1971 250 B25. This was my first motorbike I ever owned, and in 1975 when I needed to get to work it would never run properly. I could never start it. It had points. It was rubbish. I met the guy after 20 years who I sold it to, and I bought it back. It's now got electronic ignition, a more modern carburettor, and it's reliable now. But I don't need it, and it will start first kick.
Go on and give it a kick.
Well, I haven't got any fuel in this one, but this one here is a B50 Gold Star. So this is 1971, same sort of bike, but it's a 500. But somebody's modified this. It's got like electronic ignition and stuff like that to make it start. But basically you have to flood the carburetor again. And then to start it, you have to push the kickstart down till it won't go anymore. Pull the decompressor in, get it at the bottom of its stroke, like that, over again, and then...
Wow. That's first kick.
This one as well, it's the same as that one. It's the same frame, oil in the frame. So there's the dipstick and oil's in the frame.
Look at that.
You can actually see it return to the frame. They use these bikes quite a lot in motocross, and when BSA went bankrupt, CCM, Cleves Competitives Machines, bought all the BSA engines and started making CCMs, and that's how CCM started off. But also, it was the dying days of BSA. If you notice, the front brake on this bike, the 250, is the same as the front brake on this bike, the 500. And if you look at this picture up here, it's the same brake on the 750 and the 650. So they use all the same forks, all the same wheels, right throughout the range. So, yeah.
If it works,
it works.
Use it. We've got here Zuki GS 1000.
Yeah, I bought this off an elderly gentleman who bought it brand new in 1978. It's not the right tank. It should have stripes on it like this, but I have it in there. I'm going to braze it up and fix it and get it painted. This bike's done 19,000 miles from new. I haven't cleaned it or anything. I've got it going. It needs the carbs balancing and the brakes done, but it's a one owner from new bike, and all the chrome, it's an absolutely original machine. And back in the day, 1984, I went to Italy on one, did 3,000 miles on it. Fabulous machine. One of the first Japanese bikes actually handled. It was made to handle, got twin discs on the front. Basically, it's near enough a copy of the Z900 engine, but this bike handles, unlike the 750 Honda and the Z900.
Beautiful. This is my favourite, scrambler.
Yeah, I bought this brand new. It's a 13 plate. I've changed the pipes on it, had it remapped, but I quite like the retro style bike because of my age. I'm getting on a bit now. All these plastic bikes don't really interest me very much. I like the retro. It's getting on a bit now, but it's quite heavy compared with the new ones. The new ones that my daughter's got is like so much lighter than this. But I've loved this bike. I've been to France on it, been to Scotland. I've ridden it around the Lake District. It's comfortable. It's a little bit loud, but it's the last chrome wheel one they ever made. After that, they were black rimmed.
I think this one's left to me in the wheel, so I'm looking forward to getting
Really?
this one.
Wow.
What we've got here, a Bonnie.
Right, this is what they call a Harris Bonneville. So they were made. Triumph made these Bonnevilles for a number of years at Meriden, and then they went bankrupt. Probably in around 1981, 1982, and a guy called Les Harris bought the rights, and he built, really, in my opinion, one of the best ones, because it's got twin discs, Brembos, Maserati shock absorbers, electronic ignition, much better electrics, disc brake on the back. And another thing you notice, the gear change is on this side, whereas all the other British bikes that I've got over there, the gear change is on the other side. And they changed it round because the Americans wouldn't let them have the gear change on that side. It's all universal now. The gear change has to be on the right hand side. But this is, I bought this from a chap who sadly passed away. It's done 8,000 miles. It needs a carbs cleaning, and that's about it. I've had it running. It runs on choke, but there's a bit of, obviously, sediment in the carbs. But it's got all the modern... It's probably what I think it's, with all the discs and the shock absorbers and that, it's probably one of the... They sorted them out. They were quite reliable.
Another good looking bike. Should we go to the star of the show, Norton?
This was my father's Norton. He had a BMW. It was a K100. No, it was an R100 LT. He kept falling off of it because he kept putting his foot on the gear lever, because on the BMW, this is Norton's, this is the brake pedal, so it's round the other way. He fell off it. I persuaded him to sell it, and he said, what am I going to get? I said, get yourself a Commando. He bought this Commando, never had any issues with it. Sadly, he passed away in 1999, and my mum let me have it. This is probably my favourite bike. I've rebuilt the engine. It's got a high lift camshaft in it. It is so torquey. It's only got 4 gears. I can drop it into 4th gear at 80 miles an hour. Obviously not on the main road. It's loud. In its day, this bike won Machine of the Year, 5 years on the trot. Voted by Motorcycle News from 1969 to 1974. They reckon that this is probably the best one, the Mark IIA. After that, they changed the gears around here to export them to America. They put an electric start on, which they called the electric click, because it didn't work. You just push the button, you go click. But nowadays you can buy all modern things to make them reliable, smooth. But this is such a torquey motorcycle. I'll see if I can...
Go on now, fire her up.
I'll see if I can fire her up for you, Kev.
Let's do a sound test.
Again, you've got to flood the carburettor, so you've got to prod the carburettor so fuel drips out on it.
Oh yeah, that drip, drip.
Drop the choke lever. Oh dear.
Sheer go. There she is. Wowzers! That sounds lovely.
Another, usually it goes first kick, but obviously it's made a fool of me at the moment. But another thing about this bike is, being a parallel twin, this engine started off as a 500 in the 50s, and they stretched and stretched and stretched it. It's now an 823, but with a parallel twin comes vibration. On the Triumph, there's a balance shaft at the front of the engine that counteracts the vibration. On the Norton, the engine gearbox, which is separate again, and the swinging arm is mounted in here with rubber mounts. These are rubber mounts. So all the running gear with this, and there's one here, it all runs in rubber, so you don't get the vibration. I can ride the BSA for an hour and I'll get white finger and tingling because it vibrates. Unlike this machine, it doesn't vibrate at all really, but it is so torquey, and it's just a nice, it needs restoring, but it was my father's and I'd like to leave it as it is, to be honest with you.
Good looking bike, mate. Should we finish on the old Tiger?
Yeah, I bought, I wanted to take the wife touring, so I've obviously got the tank bag. She's got 2 panniers and the top box with all her shoes and all that rubbish. So I bought a Trophy 1200, but I didn't like it. It was big, cumbersome. I traded it and I bought this, and I absolutely love this 1050 Tiger Sport. It's smooth. It's got a slightly smoother engine than the old 1050, and it's quick. It's quick enough for me. It's got all the bits on it, the heated grips and everything, and it's much lighter than the Trophy, but it's got the same luggage as what the big Trophy had with the big fairing, and this has got enough just to take the wind off for me. But it's a lovely machine.
It's a good looking bike.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect, mate. Mr. P's Museum.
I never showed you the t-shirt.
It's what we do. Turn around. What's on the back? He's talking bollocks. Oh, that's good, mate. I enjoyed that. You're a very knowledgeable man. It's all up here. To me, see, these all look the same. Which is your favourite? Yeah.
And this.
Scrambler. That's my favourite scrambler. Which is the nicest to ride? Which one? Tiger, yeah. On a Sunday morning, just you. Yeah, Norton.
Kev, in its day, see, they started off, this is a 70s brochure, look.
Yeah.
They started off like that. And then they went to that. And that Norton should be this colour, Pacific blue.
Oh, right.
And the police used them. But then they went in with Triumph, because Triumphs went tits up.
Yeah.
So they didn't do the Bonnie anymore. So that's the electric, that's a Mark III. So it's got electric start there, and it's got the gear change there.
Right.
So this one is a Mark III, that's a Mark II. And then they did the Trident, which is basically a Rocket 3 with a Trident badge on, which is what I got under here.
Yeah, yeah. Which will be done and finished soon. They take a good kick, don't they? That one nearly bit you back. You might have to get you a boot. Just kick them. For a little bike, really got to give it a good kick.
When I want to sell it, I don't want it.
Do you want it?
No, don't use it. When you ride it, it's actually... my mate's got a Triumph version of one of these.
Yeah.
So all they did was they changed the fucking badge
Yeah.
to Triumph. And they got Triumph on the engine case. But they were made in the BSA factory. And the blokes hated it. And they used to get like tops of spark plugs and nuts and try and throw them from a distance into the plug holes.
Did they?
And fuck them up. But my mate's got... This 60 mile an hour...
Yeah.
You're fucking starting to wring its neck.
Yeah, yeah.
And the engine sounds like it's going to explode. But me and my mate went to Chepstow on them, and we had such a fucking naff because all the rocker box covers fell off.
Oh yeah,
on the
you
motorway
said,
and
yeah.
shit like that. But I got lovely memories of it, but I don't use this.
What year is this?
71.
What year is that?
71.
Oh, look how clean this one is.
It's been restored.
Oh,
I haven't touched this.
that's original.
I bought this back in 96. So that's how it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It should have a dove grey frame like this one.
All right.
This is a fucking quick motorcycle when it's done.
What's that, a Rocket 3?
There's the wheels, and they're the fucking same wheels as both of these bikes.
Oh, you've done the wheels then? Yeah, yeah. Such a nice selection up here.
That they fucking handle really well.
Yeah.
They do really handle well.
Let's get it
Really
running.
bulletproof engine, and he really looked after it.
Looks comfortable, doesn't it? Oh, I'll have to skip.
Was that all right though?
Perfect, mate. Perfect.
No take two.
Nope.
No cut. Do that again.
No. It's how it is.
Would you have to edit much?
I'll do a little bit editing.
Oh yeah.
Just to blend each scene.
What, almost speaking.
No, you're speaking to be the same. I'll blur you out.
See, I really like that. That's like a modern bike, really, with the brakes and that. It's got fucking Brembos on it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, look, old taxes there. Was it 1992? 1992. God, I was 11 years old.
That usually goes first. Kick that fucking Norton. She fucking let me down.
Didn't let you down, just took 3 kicks.
But it does take. There ain't no clip and off it goes.
No.
You got to flood the carburetor. You got to fuck about with the choke.
See,
Trouble is, it's been started. Once, if it was cold, it'd been all right.
a lot of people wouldn't know how to start these. If I jumped on that, I'd just kick it away. I wouldn't have a clue what this one done. And that one, same, wasn't it? This one. Isn't it crazy you don't need a key?
No key.
Isn't it crazy? Do you worry about taking it out?
I lock it up.
Lock it up.
No, I never let it out of my sight.
No.
I never let it out of my sight at all.
No,
but you wouldn't know. There's no key on it.
No,
There's an ignition key in the top, which is the steering lock, which don't fucking work.
Oh. People think that's a key.
Yeah. Fucking light. Look. You just turn the lights on. Look at that.
Put a candle in there.
Look, you look at that, 6 volt.
Yeah. That's how they were back in the day. What's the oldest bike here? This is the oldest. What's that?
Throttle cable.
How much it sticks out?
They all do, look.
Okay,
That one does.
Yeah.
Modern bikes are fly by wire, aren't they?
Modern bikes, jump on, hit the button, away you go.
Yeah.
ABS.
And they fucking stop.
Rider aid. You got to think for yourself
This
on
is
here.
a different disc brake on here. This is a mod you can buy. The fucking disc brakes are shit when they made them. The brakes on that are fucking awful.
Are they?
And it weighs a fucking ton.
You really got to think ahead. Good selection of bikes, mate. Good selection.
You happy with all that then?
Yep. He is such a character, Mr. P. He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your life. I've probably known him about 6-7 years, but he's one of them you feel like you've known for a lifetime. He'll do anything for you, and his knowledge on motorbikes is next level. If you've got an old school bike, like you saw there, the BSA or the Triumphs, and you've got a problem with them, and you don't know what's wrong with it, drop me a message and say what the problem is. Guarantee he'll know what's wrong with it, and I can let you know. Lovely bloke, that one. He messaged me a minute ago and said, do you want to do a video on his scrambler, which is like 10, 11 years old, and a new scrambler? So if you'd like to see that video to compare both scramblers, let me know in the comments and we'll get him back on. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like. The channel's getting a bit of traction now. Thank you very much. Take care. Ta-da.